Hi guys, my name is Christine and I'm a dating, relationship and personal development coach, and today I'm talking about how to know you're a more attractive man than you realize. So let's get into the obvious ones first. Okay, so if you are an attractive man, okay, then more than likely you get a lot of attention from women. Okay, so if you get a lot of attention from women, they're in your DMs, they're trying to get your attention, then it's very likely that you are an attractive man, okay? Another sign as well is if you think back to when you were at school, you knew or you had an inkling that a lot of girls had a crush on you. So you may have heard from your guy friends that, oh, so-and-so has a crush on you, or you may have even heard from your friends who are girls, oh, so-and-so has a crush on you, and you may have heard that a lot, okay? So those are the most conventional ways to know that you're more attractive than you think. Or maybe you knew that you were attractive because of those things. Those things kept on happening. Okay. So that may not be a lot of the guys' experience watching this video though. And I want you to know that just because that hasn't happened to you ever in your life doesn't mean that you're not an attractive man and you can't develop attractive qualities, okay? Because the main reason why a lot of those guys who have had the success that I just described is because they were very outwardly good looking, okay? So they had good genetics, okay? They had, a very nice structural face, they were tall, broad shoulders, whatever, nice hair, whatever it was, okay? So they had some very good genetics and they hit the jackpot in the genetic gene pool and was very, very attractive. So if you don't have that luck and you didn't have that luck of being good looking, then there are still ways that you can become and have the same energy as those extremely attractive men that had a lot of attention at school or in life from women. Okay, so how can you then develop these qualities so you can become more of an attractive man? And it could be that you already do some of these things anyway, so you definitely are more attractive than what you think. Okay, so what we're going to dive into first is the alpha and leadership energy, because you can see it across the across a broad spectrum of different species, that the females are more attracted to the more dominant alpha male. Okay, so how do you then develop this alpha-like energy within yourself? Okay, so if you have a group of guy friends, yeah, there's probably one of you that is more the leader than anything else. And again, you may experience the same thing at work as well. There's usually one guy that has the more alpha energy, and he may not even be the boss, right? So it's all about becoming then that guy. It's about becoming the alpha in your group, the alpha around you when you're with your guy friends, when you're out and about with maybe just male families, the male people in your family, and just becoming the leader. Now the leader and the more dominant one isn't necessarily the more aggressive one, okay? But he's the one that the people listen to. They follow him. If you think of it as that, a leader goes first, okay? So what does that mean then? How can you develop this then? How can you become more of a leader at work? How can you become more of a leader in your guy friends, in your family? How can you develop this leadership energy so you can come across more attractive to women? Now, it's very, very simple, and a lot of it just comes down to just simple decisiveness. So if you're out with your buddies, let's say you're on a night out, and you're all deciding what to do, make a suggestion. Be the first to come up with some plans, okay? And then when you're out and about with your guy friends, be the one that's leading the group, because if you've made the plans and you know what's going to happen, then you can lead them from place to place and take, just be the leader, be the first, and everyone then is looking to you for guidance and leadership, okay? And you can develop that same kind of energy as well when you're at work, okay? If you become that kind of character that can take the initiative instead of looking for guidance, you use your initiative and take action. And if the action just happens to be wrong, well, that's fine. You can just rectify it and change it. But be the one that goes first. Make those decisive decisions. Don't be looking for guidance. Don't be looking for guidance and leadership from other men. Become your own leader and go by what you believe and what you think is to be true. And that's how you can develop that kind of leadership energy. And if you get really good at it, at doing it at work, or you get really good at it about doing, being like that with your guy friends, then how you do one thing is how you do everything. So what will happen is that it will spread into other areas of your life. You'll become more of a leader and an alpha male throughout the rest of your the other activities and things that you do with your life. You'll just naturally become more of a leader because you're practicing it and you're doing it more often. And that's how one of the ways that you can develop that alpha sort of mentality. And women will find you more attractive because when you're out with your guy friends and you're solely just focusing on having a great time with your buddies and thinking about how I can make this a cool experience for all my friends and how can, and just practicing being that leader, women are going to notice. Women are going to look at the group of men over in the corner that you're a part of, and they're going to be able to tell that all of the men in that group are looking to you for leadership. Okay, and that is going to make her more attracted to you despite what you look like. She can just tell that you're the one that's in charge, and women like that. They like a guy that's the leader, that is the alpha male that's in charge. Okay, they're more attracted to that because it's more dominant energy. If you're a leader of men and you're not a follower, then you just appear more attractive to women. It's just one of those simple things, okay? So, another way then that you can become more attractive, so now you've developed that alpha and leadership energy, and of course you may want to come back to this video time and time again so you can retain the information. So make sure you save this video and come back to it so you can reabsorb it, and maybe you want to listen to it before you go to work or before you go out on a night out with your friends or before you're around any, other group. You want to tune back into that leadership energy and then come back and watch this, okay? So anyway, another way that you can become more attractive to women is to have passion and purpose. So not only should you be a leader of, or try to become more of a leader in your friendship group and when you're at work, but also you should be leading your own life, okay? And what I mean by that is that you should have a direction and you should have a vision for your life. Okay, so that you gotta have passion and you gotta have purpose. So passion just simply means that you can get really inspired about your life and you can get inspired about where you're going in life. So have that grand vision for yourself. Dream big dreams. Dare to dream big dreams. And every day take action towards making that dream a reality by, just taking one step closer to your desired reality, to your desired vision, okay? And you want to make sure that the thing that you're trying to achieve, though, makes you feel really good and makes you feel inspired and makes you feel ambitious. You feel good while you're doing it, and you feel good when you imagine and you have that vision for your life and you're dreaming about it and you're visualizing it. You feel good, it inspires you, it gives you goosebumps, right? And you have that passion about what you're doing and what you're trying to achieve in this life, and you feel phenomenal. Because if you have something that you're working towards and you have a goal, and you're working towards that goal and you feel really good about it and you can see that you're making progress, even if the progress is really, really small. As human beings, we tend to feel better about ourselves when we've got a goal and we're working towards that goal and we can see that we're making progress towards it, okay? That's how we feel good. That's one of the best ways that we can raise our self-esteem. There's a quote by Dale Carnegie that goes, "Inaction breeds doubt and fear. Action breeds confidence and courage. If you want to conquer fear, do not sit at home and think about it. Go out and get busy." So if you want to feel more courageous, if you want to feel more confident, take action towards your dreams, take action towards your goals. And when you see that you're making progress, you'll start to feel even better about yourself because you know that your efforts, even if you're only, reaping really small rewards and the progress is slow, it still feels better than being stuck in the same place. And you feel good because you feel like, yes, I'm finally getting there. It's taking a while, but it's happening. Okay, and you feel good about it. You start to feel good about yourself and you feel like you're living a life of more integrity. And because you really love what you're doing, because it's a vision that you've always wanted and it's a dream that you desperately want, you feel good about yourself. Okay, you just feel better when you're doing stuff like that. Okay, and therefore you'll look more attractive. You'll have a different energy about you. Okay, this is what it's all about. It's all about vibe. Okay, and you're going to raise your vibration if you are working towards things that you really want to achieve, and you can see that you're making progress. You will have a different energy about you. You won't be downtrodden. You won't feel bad. You won't be Well, I'm not saying you won't feel bad ever again, but you'll feel better than what you usually do, and that will instantly make you happier. And because you're more happier and you feel better about yourself and you feel better about your life, you'll appear more attractive on the outside. Okay, because if you feel horrible feelings about women, if you feel horrible feelings about life, if you feel horrible feelings about your job and your circumstances, and you're just angry all the time, you've got a different vibration, and it's a more ugly vibration. It makes you appear less attractive if you have all these negative feelings inside of you. Okay, whereas if you're happy with your life, and even if you're not where you want to be, you're at least happy with where you're going in life, and you've got a vision, and you've got things that you're trying to achieve, and you're making progress on those things, even if the progress is small, you will feel happier, and then you'll have a different energy about you that's uplifting. Okay, and then you'll be able to uplift others, and women will feel uplifted when they're around you. So you've got this whole new vibe, okay, because you have this passion and this purpose. Okay, so another thing to help you become more attractive, and these are some more simple ones, and that is to take care of your mind. So one of the best ways that you can take care of your mind is by meditating, by following any scriptures or religious texts that you find interesting, that you are subject to, because maybe you've got your own religion. So taking care of your body and spirit. And another way to take care of your body and spirit as well is to think about big dreams and to achieve and be trying to achieve them too, because that it just raises your vibration. And if you're raising your vibration, then you're helping your spirit develop, and you're feeling more in tune with life, and you feel more alive. Okay, obviously religion is a part to do with that as well. If you've got your own religion or your own set of beliefs, and that's how you can take care of your spirit. Meditation is a great way as well to be able to utilize that. But also you're taking care of your body too. Okay, so that means you're eating the right things. Okay, you're exercising regularly. These are really basic things, but these do help you appear more attractive if you're taking care of your body. Now, taking care of the body and exercising it regularly and eating the right things, yes, it makes the body look better, right? Because maybe you trim down, or maybe you get a bit more bulky if you feel like you want to bulk up, whatever, right? But what it does as well is this, okay? It gives the body more energy, so you will have more energy, and therefore you will have, again, like it's changing the energy of yourself. It's changing who you are, because if you've had a good exercise that day, you've had that endorphin release, you're gonna have more vibrancy about you. Your eyes are going to be brighter. The way that you speak is just going to be different. The way that you move your body is going to be different. You're going to walk with more confidence because you had a great workout. It's all about changing that energy inside of yourself to one that's more attractive. Whereas let's say you've had a week or 2 weeks or so where you haven't exercised at all, and you should be exercising. You're basically having a battle inside your brain with yourself, like you should have done this, you should have done that. You're going to have a scowl on your face when you're thinking these things. And again, it's going to deliver a different kind of energy, an energy that's less attractive. Okay. So another one as well is to take care of your mind too. So, be learning new things, be figuring out ways to make your dreams happen faster and more effectively, find ways to make things work better for you, and just dive into content like mine or anyone else's here on YouTube that you find some sort of like kinship with, or you relate to it in some way. Fill your mind with good facts, good things that can help you in the future. Okay, so you can fill in your knowledge gaps, because as we age and mature and stuff, we realize that there are some things that we're good at and some things that we're not good at, and when we begin to fill in those knowledge gaps, we become more of a well-rounded person. Okay, and we feel like we have more knowledge and we feel better. And so think about things that you have a knowledge gap in. It could be that you've got a knowledge gap in dating and attracting women. And if that's the case, then I highly recommend that you go and read my book, Attracting the Beautiful Woman of Your Dreams, which you can go and read completely for free on my website. So just go to www.christinelovridge.com and then go to the menu on the website and then click on the book, and it'll take you straight there. You don't need to log in, you don't need to sign up for anything. There's no like weird confusing landing page. It'll just take you straight to the PDF reader, and you can fill in those knowledge gaps and start cultivating your mind a bit better, so you can understand what to do if you've been struggling in this particular area. Okay, and of course as well on the website, if you want to, you can purchase coaching with me, but it's not necessary, because you can just go and coach yourself with the book, or you can watch my videos. But if you do want to talk to me and you feel like you do need help with a specific situation, then you can purchase coaching with me if you would like to. Okay, so taking care of your mind, your body, and your spirit. Okay, so another thing as well, which is important too, and again, this is another one of those basic things, but it's really, really important, is to take care of your grooming habits, and your hygiene. Okay, one of the things that can put women off you, or could put women off a man, is simply his smell. So if a man smells too much like BO, she's not going to find him very appealing. Even if he looks appealing, when she gets close to him and starts talking to him and she can notice this stench on him, she becomes repelled and she doesn't want to get close to him. She doesn't want to sleep with him. She doesn't want to cuddle him. She doesn't want to kiss him because he just smells bad. Okay, so if you are struggling with your hygiene, though, that is a sign of a mental health condition. So if you've been struggling with keeping up with your hygiene, then please go and speak to a medical professional about it. I'm just a coach online. I cannot heal you. I cannot make you better. So if you are struggling with basic things like hygiene, then please go and speak to a medical professional about that, because there may be an underlying health condition there, like a mental health condition that you need sorted out. Okay. But anyway, so take care of your grooming, take care of your hygiene, and that means you shower every day. Okay. If you got a beard, you keep it nice and trim. If you got a haircut, you keep it nice and trim. Go to a barber at least once a month if your hair grows quite quickly. And when it comes to your hygiene, shower once a day. Make sure that when you go out, the clothes that you're wearing are clean. Also, as well, if you want to, you can have a little bit of cologne, or you just put on some deodorant. Now, don't spray yourself everywhere with deodorant, because that can often do the same effect as BO, right? Can put a woman off because it's too strong. The smell is too strong. So what I recommend is to just use a roll-on. I think this is a man's one, right? Just something like this, right? I'm not sponsored by this, but a rolled on like this is often, I find, a lot more effective, like, because there's sprays for women as well, and I prefer the roll-ons. Okay, the reason I have a man one right now is because my local shop didn't actually have the women's one, so I just had to make do with this male one. But use a roll-on deodorant, okay, instead of one of these sprays, because the sprays can be a bit too strong, whereas a roll-on deodorant, I often find it's more effective as well than the sprays, anyway, the ones they use for the sprays on the armpits. I just feel like that just works a lot better. So try use a roll-on deodorant, and if you do have a cologne or a nice scent that you like to put on yourself, just 1 or 2 squirts is enough. You don't have to do more than that. You don't have to spray your entire body, okay? Because if you do that, the smell will be just way too strong. Okay, so what I would recommend you that you do is to find a role model. So especially in terms of like grooming and things like that. So if there's like a guy that you think, oh yeah, he looks really cool, I'd really like to look like him, then, and you think that, oh yeah, I bet a lot of women would like that look, then copy it. Copy the style, copy the look. So if there's like a guy, like maybe he's a footballer, maybe he's like a rugby player or something, and he looks really sharp when he's on nights out, or he just looks really good, and there's like paparazzi photos of, if he's a celebrity of some kind, just copy his look. If you think that looks really cool, then copy his look. Especially if you think that he gets a lot of attention from women, okay? And just copy the look, just copy the haircut, copy the beard. You can even take, a picture of him into like the barbers and say, hey, can you get my hair to look like this guy's? Or can you get my beard to look like this guy's? Okay, and then just look at the kind of clothes that he wears, try and get the same kind of things. Now he might, because if he's a celebrity, he might be wearing, some Gucci or something, things that are really expensive, but try and find like replicas of different things that kind of look the same, that maybe are a bit cheaper material, if you're not, if you can't buy like the branded stuff, like a lot of us can't. So get yourself a role model as well, okay? And these techniques will help you become more attractive to women. And if you're already doing these things that I've listed, then you're way more attractive than you realize, okay? So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to get in touch with me personally and you'd like coaching with me, then you can go to www.christineloveridge.com, click on whichever coaching option works best for you. And if not, just watch the next video and make sure you come back to this one to help you retain the information. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall talk to you again very soon. Goodbye.